And it would take them months to find my body. Derek Hartley here, along with Romaine Patterson. Katie K. Kate's our producer. Donnie, our associate producer. And we are kicking things off right away, immediately, because we can't wait 1 second longer for the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race to be with us, Bianca Del Rio, in our studio. And assaulting the airwaves immediately here. TheBiancaDelRio.com, The Bianca Del Rio on Twitter. Bianca, so nice to have you with us again.
It's nice to be here. It's right around the corner from my house, so it's quite nice to come here.
Yes.
It is.
And now you're the winner, not the presumptive winner as you have been for months now.
But you know what's weird? No matter what happens, is that you never knew what they were going to do. Is that even if you felt that you'd done your best, and even if you felt that you statistically had done really good challenges, or statistically weren't in the bottom, or any of that madness, you didn't know what they were going to do. They could do anything they want. I mean, it's crazy because we filmed the finale like 2 weeks ago with 4 different endings. We did 4 different endings this time, and they can air whatever they want. It's really kind of up to them. It is Rue's decision, and she's a bad motherfucking bitch. She can do what she wants. So you just never know what to expect.
Well, can I just jump in with this? You never know what to expect. I mean, clearly you were not expecting to win, Bianca.
No, I didn't. I didn't know, because even when you're there, and this is the weird thing, is that you're in a bubble for a couple of weeks to film this, and when you're in that bubble, you don't know. For me, it was kind of like, all right, you got through this challenge, thank God. Go through the next challenge, thank God. And then you walk away from it, and then you go home, and then it's quiet for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden they announce the show, and then you get all those feelings again, and then it starts airing, and you're seeing, we do 12, 14-hour days, and so you're seeing a 40-minute trunked version of what you experienced. And as it starts to unfold, you're like, eek, this bitch got a story. This bitch is crying. This bitch is this. You don't know where they're going with it. And a lot of the times I didn't know what other people were saying or what other people did behind my back, so we don't know.
Well, the reason I say, I believe you did not expect to win was because what the fuck was with that hair?
Which hair?
You went into the finale with hair that could not support a crown.
Well, because they didn't put a crown on us, you bitch. If you'd have looked at it, they did not put a crown on us on TV. And they told us they would not crown us. They would give us a scepter, you whore.
Why wouldn't they put a crown on you?
Well, because I didn't have practical lesbian hair like you that I could just...
other bitches certainly did.
Well, they were wishful thinking.
Excuse me, Courtney also was wearing like a headpiece.
But she removed it.
Adore was the only one who obviously didn't read that.
No, because Courtney took that headpiece off and that wig was...
No, I'm saying the weird thing is that you saw us on the runway. On the runway, we had one thing, and then later on, we had a different hairdo, and I had a flower in my hair. But
Big,
they told
giant
us,
flowers.
But they told us they were not going to put a crown on our head for the show. That they were going to film each of us winning, and by giving us the scepter, and that we were crowned
that's just
in
fucking
Vegas.
lame.
It didn't bother me. I mean, you never knew. I could have pulled that wig off and had another wig underneath. Don't try me, Romaine. You don't know. I could have done some wig trickery, bitch.
I'm not so convinced of that.
And I love the fact the lesbian is the one telling me that my hair was bad. Really?
I mean, the hair was sensational, but it just didn't say, I'm here to take home this fucking crown hair.
Please, but you never know. You might not get the crown, so your hair still got to look good. You don't want to look like Sad Sally with a little shake and go wig, waiting for somebody to give you a crown that doesn't exist.
I just want you to know, when we talk to Courtney here in a little bit, I'm going to talk to her about her hair, because I thought that hair was bad.
Well...
I mean, I was like, what happened to that wig? Because every wig she'd worn, well, for the most part, I mean, most of them were horrible. But that one was not good.
And this is where I insert, she is my sister, and I love her.
So don't think I'm just coming for you.
No, please, you can come for me. Anytime I make a lesbian come for me ever is pretty fierce.
Well,
think about it. It's a joke in there. But... No, but they told us that we're not going to put a crown on our head, so I was not prepared for it.
What's the point of even having a fucking crown?
No, they crowned us in Vegas. They crowned us live when it actually happened after the fact.
Yeah.
So we rewatch it, and that's when they actually crown you. And the crown is quite amazing. It's quite heavy, and the scepter is quite lovely. And
was your hair prepared to accept it?
Please Google it, bitch, while we're on break and figure it out.
I watched it.
Do your lesbian research.
No, I did. My DVR cut off, so I did not get to see it.
It wasn't aired? The crowning at the Tropicana was online.
I missed that.
If this was an L word, she would totally know what's going on right now.
I hated that fucking show.
What happened? They had a Duck Dynasty marathon on. You couldn't watch Drag Race.
Duck Dynasty, no.
Fierce.
And actually, I want you to know, I got in a fight with my wife over watching the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race, because she was at home and I'd worked from home that day, and I was like, and I'd been sick all day. I'd been in bed like 90% of the day. And yeah, I wish it was that. And
Coke.
so after the show, because I had to turn off all electronics during like the last 2 hours of our show because I didn't want anyone to fucking spoil it for me.
Sure.
On one of those, social networking sites. And so I went and I gave her a kiss and I'm like, okay, goodbye. And she goes, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going downstairs to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. She's like, not going to spend any time with me? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've got shit to do. I got to go watch
ruined
this
your
shit.
relationship? Is that what it was?
Oh,
Please, it was already on the edge. How is just going to happen?
How true it is.
But I did the same thing. For the last few hours of the show, I turned off Facebook and Twitter. I was on the train on the way home. Somebody called me. I was like, I am not answering this phone.
Yeah,
I don't want to know.
Fucking bitch, do not. And they were out in California. I was like, I don't care. I can't risk having it be spoiled. Even though I had a feeling it was going to be you because I felt that way for,
well, we all did.
really early on.
Well, the weird thing is, like I said, you really didn't know. And the thing that I'm most excited about now that it's, aside from, getting this amazing situation to do whatever I'm doing,
I'm the chick.
It's just that it's kind of crazy that the one thing I don't have to see anymore on Facebook is spoiler alert and all that bullshit because people are fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my God, you spoiled. If I post a photo of me and Courtney someplace, that means they're top two. This means this means that. She's standing in the middle. My favorite thing was 3 days ago. There was a photo of Adore in the middle and me and Courtney at the side. The person that stands in the middle always wins. The only reason why she was in the fucking middle because we were wearing black and we were older. That's what we did. We just stuck her in the middle because she was in some giraffe dress and it had nothing to do with that, but you couldn't say that because people lose their fucking minds. It's like I said, I wish more of these people were looking for that fucking Malaysian plane than trying to figure out Drag Race, and we would have a solution to all of this.
Well, I had a feeling that you were the winner at the very beginning of the finale show because in the opening dance number, you were the only one that got a close-up.
Yeah.
And by the way, Courtney wasn't even in the two-shot. I'm like, where's Courtney? I guess she's third.
I don't-
Three and
I
a
don't-
half. I don't know where she is.
I don't know. My boss says I can't speak on this. I don't know.
All I'm saying is, I was like, okay, here comes the group, and here they come. All right, close up. There's Bianca in the wind machine. All right, fine. And then cut away. I was like, okay, no more close-ups of anyone else. Cut back to close-ups. Bianca. Oh, okay. I think I see like Adore's ear. All right. And then that was it.
Look, I don't know. I just had to sit back and watch all of it for the first time with everybody else. And the weird thing is I was watching it with the two of them, which was interesting. It was probably the quietest, most normal place I've watched the show since it began. Because I've been watching it here in New York, at the Ritz where I work. And so this was the first time just the three of us watching it. And it was weird because the entire process, we've been filming it and then it's been airing later. So to have this moment of watching and knowing that everybody and their mother was watching it at the same time was kind of weird and overwhelming and freaky.
Okay, let me ask you about about the finale and then watching the finale again.
Yes.
Because Adore is not going to be with us for whatever reason. She's working.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what corner she's on. But anyway, how awkward in the moment was the Adore and Laganja Stranja moment where they were forced into a room to watch their friendship break down. And then you got to sit with Adore again, watching that. It was very meta. Watch it again, happening again.
Well, it's a weird thing. I was unaware that they were filming any of those segments, and apparently there was some other moments that were captured as well from other people that had unresolved issues. There was Ben and Darian who filmed something, and there was Adore and Laganja, and there was two other, Jocelyn and Courtney. And I remember in the midst of this, I had heard through text from them that they were all going to LA to film something, and this was prior to the finale. So I thought, oh fuck, they didn't call me to do anything. So I called my manager and I was like, I don't really know what's going on. I said, but everybody's in LA, and here I am in Boca Raton doing some dinner theater, and I'm like, I don't know. No offense, Boca, I'll be there soon. But it's here I was in this situation. I'm like, oh my God, they called everybody to go, and they're like, oh well, they're filming these little moments with everyone that had unresolved issues. I said, well, no one called me. They said because you hated everybody.
Right.
So it would be impossible to go back and try to mend fences and work on my relationships with 14 other people. So they filmed that previously, and it was the first time that I saw it. Remember, we're not privy to any of this information ever before you even go out there. Even rehearsal is very loosely based, and you just kind of walk through it. And we didn't see the script. We didn't know what was going on. The only things that we were aware of was the opening number, which we rehearsed, and the little number that me, Courtney, and Adore did that they wrote for us that we were given, prior to the show.
It did seem like, especially when you started getting down to the final, 6 or 7, whatever, the core, you guys all seem to be pretty close and pretty friendly. I mean, even because, Darian was a shady elephant.
Sure.
But Darian also kept owning that, along the way. And even that, it didn't feel particularly like icy or on the outside or anything. You all seemed very, very close.
Well, I think
through the filming.
No, totally. And I don't know if most people know this, but I think I've said it before. You're sequestered. You're not given this opportunity to hang out with each other. We're in separate hotel rooms, and when you're on camera is the only time you actually have conversations with each other. So the interesting thing is when you're there, I love a joke. If someone says something hateful about me, I live for it, and I never took any of that personally with any of them. But in retrospect, as you're watching it, I was unaware of what they were saying on their own time in their confessionals and in those moments that I was like, bitch, you shouldn't have said it. But then in retrospect, now they're like, oh my God, well, I was making a joke. I thought, well, bitch, maybe you shouldn't be joking, because normally at jokes people laugh, Right. So it's choices that you make, and I always blamed it on Darian. I was like, you're not really bitchy. She's like, it's the editing. I go, yes, and you were thinking about a sandwich. It was the end of the day. She was hungry. She was just saying what she was saying. I agreed with a lot of what she was saying, but also if you say something extremely bitchy or you start crying, they're going to use it. I mean, it's what we signed up for. So it'd be very hypocritical of me to go, oh, well, they didn't put me in a positive light. Come on. I signed up for this and I knew what was involved.
But I mean, even with you said plenty of bitchy things about people.
Yes.
But they did counterbalance the things that you said with very nice moments with you and the other contestants.
But Bianca was very nice with the other contestants.
Well, but the thing is, too, is that people say, I was so over people saying, oh, you're showing a softer side. Look, cameras don't fucking follow me in my everyday. I'm not a douche when I go to every bar and go, here we go. I don't have a drum roll. Only to you, Derek. But
he deserves it.
He does. But
I'm terrible.
I know, it bears repeating. But it's not like I go around my life going, ha ha ha, fuck you, and this and that. So it's like when people say that, I find it hysterical. All my friends knew that's how I am. And when you see a sad little drag queen who needs a corset, you pass it off. It was just a corset. I didn't fucking cure cancer, and people are acting like, oh, it's a big deal. No, I mean, it's human. You're there and you're going, all right, bitch, I got 2 of them. Let me help you out.
But the reality is, in these types of situations, not everyone is that nice.
No, but I also wasn't afraid of what was to come. I thought if that's the one thing that's bothering you and they're giving you notes on, great. And, had there been a situation where I needed help with something that they were better at, I would have asked, and I think that they would have helped as well. It's not so every drag queen is not so cutthroat and hateful. I think people that do it are people that are very insecure.
Yeah. It really felt like it came from a place of confidence. Because if you were really worried about the competition, it's like, no, I'm not going to share a corset or help you with your makeup or to help sew a costume or something.
Well, but you have to realize that, in situations with Adore, with the corset was one thing. And then, with Trinity, it was so much that I saw this person who's 23 years old, who's an amazing lip sync artist and a fierce performer. And that bitch can get ready in 15 minutes and look that fabulous, So it's one of those things where I just thought the one thing she was lacking or feeling, weird about was her confidence in talking. And it's shit that I do all the time. So I thought, let me help you, So it wasn't a conditional thing. It wasn't something manipulated of going, oh, I'm going to work this out. And she could have said, fuck you, get away from me, and she didn't. So,
but that was also a group challenge where there was a benefit to you of the group doing well.
Always. But you always want to make sure you want to win. You don't want to be the douchebag standing there blaming somebody else. No, I mean, we all have to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have to ask you because you joked about
Bianca's phone doesn't go on vibrate for some reason.
Lady Bunny on the finale, and about what she said to you when you were going off to do RuPaul's Drag Race. So, what did Lady Bunny say to you when she found out you won?
Oh, I haven't talked to her yet. I haven't talked to Bunny yet. No, because she's probably dead somewhere. I don't know. Her career is. She did put some shit on Facebook. She said, glad you won, Fig. Well, I'm using her voice. She's like, congratulations, Fig. I'm glad you won. I guess your plane didn't crash. And, she said that now Bianca Del Rio can actually buy real eye makeup and quit using liquid paper. So, or whiteout, whatever they call it nowadays. But I haven't talked to her yet. I'm looking forward to talking to her because I'm sure she's got some bullshit to say. Because she's convinced I don't sound like her when I impersonate her.
Oh my God, you sound just like her.
But she says it's not true, That's what it is.
Is she crazy?
Well, she also says she doesn't eat cake at the middle of the night, but it's obvious she does that. So,
is that what we're calling it now?
Bun. Girl, it was a good cake. I ate it off a man's cock, but it was good. You know, that's her. Fake.
Your Lady Buddy impression is one of my favorite impressions that you do.
I agree.
It's so sad.
I love it so fucking much.
I'll call you. It's so sad that I'm impersonating a bigger man who looks like Jeff Daniels swollen in drag.
But you did do a good impression of Judge Judy this season on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, I love
that was
Judy.
very well received.
I love Judy. And, you know, the weird thing was prior to Drag Race, when you're there, I was unaware that Ru was such a big Judy fan because I was not a Twitter person. I didn't follow Ru on Twitter and know all this madness. So people were like, well, how did you not know? I mean, I didn't live, eat, breathe Ru prior to the show, and I didn't know that she was such a big fan. I love Judy because she doesn't play games and she's on it.
Right.
And so when I was there, I found out the whole story about how it's the only show that Ru watches and the only thing she doesn't miss. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed now.
Well, yeah, because if your Judge Judy had not been good, you'd been fucked.
Well, the weird thing is, you know, I'm surprised nobody did Judge Judy. I think people lose sight of the Snatch Game. You have to do somebody that you can adapt to the environment, and you have to have a person with personality. And when people do people like Kim Kardashian, really, you know, and when you do randomness like Nicki Minaj, there's not enough character there to apply it to the situation. But I must confess, I did think Ben de la Creme, she's like, oh, I'm going to do Maggie Smith. I thought, what the fuck? But that bitch was hysterical. It was brilliant. It was
so good.
It was brilliant. I had to sit back. I was like, girl, that was fucking funny. And she so rightfully deserved it. But also, Adore made me piss myself that episode as Anna Nicole Smith was really fucking funny. I was dying. I mean, you know, I've seen fucked up people like that, Bunny. And it's the same thing.
But I think it is the problem for a lot of the drag queens is they're so used to dressing up or lip syncing to a particular, you know, pop girl.
Sure.
You know, like Beyonce. And the real problem is, like, how do you know, what is there about Beyonce that you can reinterpret, like, in a live comedy setting? Like, it's one thing to sort of have a similar costume and, you know, do the moves in a nightclub. You can recreate a bit of that, but that's a very different circumstance than trying to build a comedy bit out of somebody who otherwise does not have particular personality points that you can pull out.
But also, I think and I agree with that totally, but I think the big misconception about RuPaul's Drag Race is A, it's not a beauty contest, and B, it's not an impersonation contest, is that you're there, you're tested, and you're given this opportunity to make shit out of it. And you have to do, if you can't sing, dance, act, do comedy or so, don't fucking do the show, because you can't stand there shocked and go, what, Snatch Game? I mean, it's 6 seasons at this point. It's a prerequisite for you to audition. You have to do a Snatch Game character. So, you know, it's not like saying, oh, I'm the fiercest Lady Gaga. It doesn't mean anything unless it applies to the game. And I think that people don't realize that. You know, you want to be pretty, you can be fish, you can be fierce, you can be an amazing lip sync artist, and that might help you when you're in the bottom, but it doesn't help if you don't have any skills to get through the show. And you're given, I mean, you're watching the show a week at a time. We're given, you know, hours to make this shit happen. You know, we don't have, you know, 2 days to do a challenge. It's literally happening in 3 or 4 hours. So all the people that always go, oh, well, she did this and her hair is that and her look at, fuck you, bitch. You get on the show, you do it, and let's see what you fucking come up with. Because everybody becomes an expert, but you don't realize there is no time to make this happen.
How does anyone go on that show and not know how to sew?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I honestly, at this point, it baffles my mind.
Well, if you can't sew, you don't have to be, you know, an expert tailor, but I think that you have to have some idea of what you can make in a short period of time. You better glue like a motherfucker. You better safety pin like a bitch. And lots of people did do that, and that's okay.
Right.
But you have to be aware of your own set of skills to get through it. That's the only advice I could give anybody.
Right.
You know, if you're a softie, if you're a basket case, if you're a crazy person, well, you're going to test yourself in this environment because you are stripped of all of that madness and you're thrown to the wolves and you got to make sense of it.
All right. Well, speaking of being stripped, joining us now by phone, Courtney Act is with us along with Bianca Del Rio from this past season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Hi, Courtney.
Nice to hear your dulcet tones, Bianca.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I actually sound quite soft today.
You do sound quite soft. I just heard you about not being able to sew, and I was like, are they talking about me?
No, I didn't say you.
It was really shade to Kelly Mantle.
I mean, really, what's to sew?
Cut a hole in it and put a belt around it.
She cuts a hole in it and puts a belt around it. There you go, girl. Taught you well.
Yeah. Poncho 101.
No, but you also weren't one of the people complaining that you didn't sew. I was just shocked at the people that were shocked that they had to sew. That was the kind of thing like,
Oh my God, I didn't know I had to sew.
oh my God, RuPaul's a man. Yeah, like, oh, really?
Yeah, it does seem strange to me after so many seasons of the show that anyone would go on the show and be surprised by what the show is.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Did you find that too, Courtney?
Yeah, I mean, it was fascinating because it really tests you beyond being a drag queen and more about being an entertainer because there's so many facets. And in some ways, you know, drag is all about those different facets. I know that there's been so many times over the years where I've had to make a costume or I've had to, be funny. Sometimes I failed. But other times where I've had to sing or dance and drag really tests all of those, drag race rather, really tests all of those skills. So it's almost, I remember Trinity saying at one point that she found it was like a workshop. Like she was like, I've never acted before, but I just feel like I've been coached by, sorry, that's a bad Trinity accent. She felt like she was having workshops in acting and in all of those different things. I mean, it may not be the time to look for a workshop. You might want to brush up on your skills beforehand. But
True.
Yeah.
It was still an exciting adventure for everybody of different skills.
So, Courtney, I have a few questions for you. And I'm going to start with your wig in the finale.
Yes.
Let's talk about that wig. Not your best choice.
Oh, the pink hair?
Yeah, it was not great. And I loved you, and I thought you did really well all season. But that wig seemed not good.
Well, you think like just because it's Gucci doesn't mean we wear it applies to that wig?
Yeah.
It's funny because I've had a couple of people be like, oh my God, I love that hair. And other people be like, Lord Darian Lake, for example.
Oh, well, she's always got something to say. Shady elephant.
She said to me, we were in the bathroom getting ready for the whatever that thing was called on Monday night, the coronation.
Yeah.
And Darian also made the same comment. It was actually styled by my friend Scotty, who does, the Kardashians and Miley and like all of the big names. So it was kind of like a very, slightly heroin chic kind of grungy hair to go with what was a very pretty outfit to sort of balance it out. I can see what you're saying. I quite liked it, but
I at least said about your wig that you were at least prepared to have a fucking crown put on your head, unlike Bianca.
Here we go. Remember,
well, let me tell you, Bianca's hair at the coronation had a perfectly sized bump.
Thank you.
On the back that she just slid that crown on.
Well, you know what? Also, we had started our coronation day at like 2 p.m. So frankly, at that point, whatever hairdo I had left, I was happy. I had already dressed like a clown at that point, Evita, and then some other fucking dress. I was like, take your fucking picture and let's roll. But Courtney, please keep in mind that Romaine is a lesbian giving you hair critique.
With
so
blue
just
hair.
Keep that in mind.
She has blue hair.
Yeah, but enough about your pussy. Let's talk about your hair on your head.
Okay, now Courtney, here's the second question I had for you.
Here we go.
So this is about Chaz because they went to everybody, showed their person in the audience. I have a couple of questions about Chaz. One,
Go for it.
why Chaz?
Why, Chaz?
Yeah, why was Chaz your person?
Well, because I am all alone in this big country you call America, and my family and everybody is back in Australia. So, I thought I could get my mum and dad to fly over, but why bother just to see them crown Bianca?
You are shady.
Is that really what you told your parents? Don't come.
Like, I'm not flying my parents over just to watch them crown Bianca. Forget it. I'm going to be too busy.
You are a shady little elephant
Now,
junior.
here's the second part of my question about Chaz.
Yeah.
So, RuPaul insinuated there was more to this situation than maybe met the eyes.
RuPaul also insinuates she's a woman, so,
True.
there's a grain of salt there to be
So,
taken.
Courtney Act, is there something going on between you and Chaz?
No, unfortunately, there is nothing going on between Chaz and I. I know that he did take a shining to Courtney. I can, he'll attest to that. But we hung out together, and I appreciate Chaz as a friend, but no, there's definitely nothing more than just friends. And it's been a fascinating friendship because he's a heterosexual man who got there through different means, and
Yeah.
I'm a gay drag queen, and it's actually been a really fascinating learning experience because I've never had a trans male friend before, and I've really had my eyes opened, especially throughout this whole, tranny she-male kind of saga that has been going on. I've really heard a really interesting perspective from Chaz, and he's a really smart and thoughtful guy. And, so I've been appreciating that side. And also he's been educating me on American cinema, watching movies like The Godfather, Victor Victoria, which I hadn't seen.
How could you have not seen Victor Victoria?
Notice he used his high-pitched Courtney voice for that. How could you have not seen Victor Victoria?
That was your Alaska voice.
Yeah, well, yeah. Her.
Well, I will say this, Courtney. You were definitely one of my favorites this season, even though I'm giving you a bad time about your hair and Chaz.
Right.
But
Chaz loved my hair. Can I say, Chaz was like, "Oh my God, I have never seen you look more beautiful than the way you looked tonight."
I think Chaz wants to bone you.
Well, he's only human, Romaine.
Well, I will say, Courtney,
So does Romaine.
you are a beautiful lady, and and I said this after meeting you when you came in studio. I was like, God damn, that Courtney is beautiful. So, and then I got to
But
see
she
your
didn't say that to your face. It was after you
ass,
left.
and I got to see everything else on stage, and I have to say, very impressive.
Thank you.
You got a
If you
lot
want to feel
going
a
for
bit
you.
More on stage, the Daily Mail posted a photo of me with my legs wide open and my dress slipped to the side, and you can see a little bit more.
So we've heard.
Oh.
My rat testicle is.
Your rat testicle.
Well, sometimes it pops out.
It does.
Sometimes literally in untucked.
Yep. It really is.
Okay, Courtney, they didn't say who came in second and who came in third. So what place do you think you came in?
You know what? Thank God they didn't say that. I was like, Adore Delano is an amazing talent and definitely a crowd favorite. And it's hard to tell because the people who are engaged with the show via social media represent a small demographic of the viewing public. So wherever I go, I find like straight women absolutely love Courtney, love me. And, the mean gays, they love me because I wrote that song about them, that anthem for this summer. And, Adore has sort of capitalized on the disenfranchised youth of America, being one herself.
So basically, Adore appeals to the homeless? What are we saying here?
Homeless, disenfranchised, hard done by, angry with the world. No, Adore is the Miley Cyrus. Adore is the Miley, I am the Kylie. How about that?
Okay.
The Miley and the Kylie. I would see that
don't know
movie.
who would have come second or third. I'm just glad that we're... Oh, God. Boy at the Bottom just started playing on my phone. It's sorry, I downloaded an alert a while ago. Every time I get a note in my calendar, Boy at the Bottom starts playing, and it's really disturbed.
Well, you got to keep track of the boys somehow.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're the Kylie and Adore is the Miley, who is Bianca?
She's the Don Rickles.
I'm the what?
She's the Don Rickles.
I'm the Don Rickles. That's right. I'm the Don Rickles. I tell you something. The best thing in it, and Courtney, Adore, and even Darian and I, we had this massively long mass text that was always going out. And when something would pop up on Facebook or something would pop up in an interview, we would come back to each other like, "Did you see this picture? Did you hear what they said? Do you hear what it's about?" And then as we went through the competition, we got rid of Darian, and then it was just the three of us talking exclusively, and we would go back and forth, and it's fascinating just to hear the things that people say and people assume, because there is that one moment when you're reading it alone in your room that you're like, do people fucking believe this shit? And I found later in the competition that I got really defensive with people because it's like, team this, team that, team whatever, and it was like, girl, if I like Courtney and if I like Adore, then why can't you? It's totally fine. It's not so black or white with everybody, but I think because we weren't stereotypical cunts like it has maybe been in the past seasons, I think that people were torn about who to like and who not to like. But
I can see that.
It was because it wasn't so cutthroat. We weren't mean to one another. And really, honestly, as we were sitting on my couch, we would have been fine with whoever won. And I don't mean that as a pageant answer. I mean, really, it's kind of like, come on, we've all gotten to this point, and it's been an amazing ride, and we've been experiencing it for the past year. It's such a relief to get to that moment. It's just kind of like, now we can breathe. What's next? So,
and there was also a side of it that was kind of, in trying to pick a winner. Are you Team Bianca? Are you Team Courtney? Are you Team Adore?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, you're not the other two teams. You're either with us or you're against us.
Right.
So now that we picked a winner, I think everybody can just go back to appreciating us.
Totally. And we all possess completely something different, which I thought was great. At least it was a different grouping of people.
Now, I remember, Courtney, when you were on the show, you had hinted towards something that I actually want to see, which was you had hinted that you were going to do a makeover of Bianca and vice versa.
Yes.
Is this happening, and when can I see it? Because I actually want to see that.
We haven't had time to film it, but we talked about totally doing it because I think it'd be absolutely hysterical, and you want to see me as a natural, manly-looking woman.
Please tell me you'll put that wig on Bianca.
Fiercest glamazon.
I would be here with the pink wig.
You're going to be beating guys off with a stick. I mean, as long as you cover your nose.
Oh! Yeah, you see. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, we need to edit that, right? Yeah. Oh, you didn't say that.
What are you doing on Tuesday and Wednesday? I'm going to be in New York.
You're in New York on Tuesday and Wednesday. Of what, next week?
Yeah, I'm doing my show at the Laurie Beach.
Oh, well, you can call my assistant and find out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. You know what? I really don't. I think I'm in town. Let's film it when you're here. Totally.
Well, because I know you're in San Francisco on Sunday.
I am.
And
yes.
Wilton Manors, Florida, at the Manor on Saturday.
Yes, I am. But I think I'm back on Monday.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah. I think I'm back on Monday because I have the Feed the Children Foundation, and then I'm kidding. I don't have any of that.
I was going to say that's not happening.
Because I'm here. I'm
Feed the children with hate.
Fill the children with hate. Well, they're tired of you serving it up all season. So yes. Yeah, totally. That's what, because we talked about how funny it would be.
I want to see it.
Because so many people were like, oh my God, Bianca looks like a clown. And people are like, Courtney doesn't wear any makeup. I'm thinking, wouldn't that be genius?
No, I love it.
To swap it out and say, here, you fucking happy now?
Yeah, when Courtney mentioned it on the show last time she was here, I was like, oh my God, I want to see that so bad.
Yeah, okay, calm down.
I want to see you as a pretty lady.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
I think it will. I think it will happen, and I can't wait to see it.
And I want to see you as a 20-year-old heterosexual. It ain't going to happen, Romaine.
Try, but it's probably
But I did watch, Bianca, I did watch your Transformations with James St. James video that you did.
He's a hoot.
That was hilarious. And so you transformed him into Bianca Del Rio.
Well, what's weird is that he looked like, some matronly aunt that I have. Yeah, I said that he kind of looked, here in New York, they have that Grand Prospect Hall commercial. We can make your dreams come true. You've seen it? And he looks like some woman that would be there having his granddaughter's wedding, But he was a complete riot, and I had the best time. And I realized after we filmed all of it that we really didn't talk about makeup or what the fuck I was doing because we were too busy cackling about other things.
Everything else. And doing Lady Buddy impressions.
Yeah, well, that was like 10 a.m. That was like a very early morning, and I was dying. Yeah, so it was rough.
I couldn't believe it. 45 minutes for makeup?
For who?
For you.
I get ready quick. Yeah, I mean,
That's
quick. Courtney, don't I get ready faster than you do?
It takes an average woman to put on makeup. It's not quick.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, with me,
I'm just wearing chapstick and mascara, and it still takes me like more than an hour. I would be sitting there, and Bianca's face would be done, and I wouldn't have even started on my eyeshadow yet.
Yeah. See, I'm paint by number. It's like I'm a clown. I know exactly what I'm doing. I just go. You've seen it. It's shut up, Romaine.
Do you know actually one of my favorite things to do is watch a woman put makeup on?
Really?
I love it.
Does that get you excited?
I know, but I just love it. And I of course have a butch wife who would never put on makeup.
She doesn't bother. She didn't even shave her legs.
But I love watching a woman put makeup on.
Really?
There's something very beautiful about it.
Oh, this is a beautiful moment. Let's take a second. Really.
Yeah, maybe we can make like a 5,000 frames per second slow motion makeup video that you can flick your bean to.
We should do.
Well, it's perfect, Courtney. You should put on makeup in front of Romaine. It'll turn her on.
Right. That'll be a private video.
So worried.
The strap-on will be pulsing. And engorged.
I'm sure we could share it with Chaz too, and Chaz would probably enjoy that video.
I think she's jealous of Chaz. Oh, Shady McShade.
This
Chaz
is a three-way I don't want to see.
No.
Have both slept with the same woman.
No.
Oh yes.
No.
Oh yes.
Spill it.
There was this crazy girl that I slept with.
Well, obviously, if she slept with both of you.
And years later, I get an email from Chaz's email account, and it was from this girl. And she was dating Chaz. But this was when Chaz was still Chastity.
When Chaz was still Chaz. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant it was some secret story now. Oh, no. Well, please.
But this bitch was fucking crazy.
Well, she had to be to find interest in you.
She was crazy.
How was her hair, though? Did you like her hair?
She had
was
hot hair.
Was it set for crowning? Was it not pink?
Yeah. Yeah, I can show you a picture of this crazy girl.
She
was
could
hot.
shove her whole head up her vagina. That's how ready for crowning it was.
Yet another visual.
So wrong.
It's a baby crowning joke for you. Okay,
thanks. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, so Courtney, now the show's over. You're relieved, ready to move forward in your life.
Yeah, I am. It's been like, it's funny that you say that because we really have been in this like holding pattern for the last year.
Yeah.
Like we filmed this almost a year ago, and it was always like, oh good, I'm on Drag Race. Oh, I packed my bag. Oh, I'm there. I'm back. I've done it. Oh, well, once it's on television, then it'll be. Once it's and now it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, on with life.
It's like we've been circling an airport during the winter, and we just haven't landed.
Yeah.
So when it kind of happens, it is surreal, but it's it comes with a lot. It's not just so much being on a show. It's like everybody has an opinion, good and bad, and it can be overwhelming a lot of the time. So it's kind of nice now that there is no question. We've done what we've done, and we can.
And from week to week, they go from loving you to hating you.
Totally.
They always love Bianca, but
no, we had those moments when we were talking, and there was one week like Courtney would win a challenge, and everybody was on her side, and then the next week I was like, girl, whatever, and she's like, oh, they hate me this week. I'm like, no, they don't. The next week it's fine. It's they go back and forth, and it's one of these things where you just you're going through it. Everybody knows more than you do. Everybody's 13 years old and has a Twitter account and can say what they want. You go, all right, girl, it's fine.
It's actually a good test of your own, your own
strength.
Your own strength and your own, because I always sort of pride myself on not caring about what people think. And that's one thing to I'm going to wear what I want, I'm going to do what I want, I'm going to say what I want, as long as I'm true to myself, and that's important. But then when the show's on TV and there's a part of you being displayed to the country and to the world, and then everybody has an opinion on that, it's very easy to get sort of sucked into the toing and froing of what other people think. And so it was an important lesson in really, and I didn't do it terribly effectively at times, but really saying, knowing who I am, knowing why I'm doing what I'm doing, and believing in those reasons, not whether, Katie 649 thinks that my hair at the reunion was ugly.
That was Romaine. That's her screen name.
It's Romaine.
That's a screen name.
Courtney, I want to know, did people talk about those wings that you wore on the runway as much as you thought they would?
They're amazing.
Because they were pretty sensational.
They were amazing.
I'm slightly jealous of the wings because probably much like Vivacious feels about Ornacia.
Fucking Ornacia.
The Ornacia dancers were incredible, by the way.
They were.
No, I do love those wings, and I just need to find a gig in Los Angeles where I can wear them because they're so big that they're not practical to travel.
Yeah, how exactly did those wings fit in your 5 bags you were allowed to bring on RuPaul's Drag Race?
When you go to the airport, you've been on holidays in Europe, and you've done all this shopping, and you're overweight. So you put on 2 pairs of denim jeans and your heaviest jacket and your heaviest pair of shoes, and you're wearing 4 hats and gloves, and it's the middle of summer, and you're about to just pass out from heat exhaustion. That was me when they came to pick me up. They sent a small girl with a hatchback.
I know. Romaine's really upset. She's like, I had a truck. Nobody called me.
I don't have a truck.
And I had to, they said we could take 5 bags. Was it 5 or 4? 5 bags.
We had 5 bags.
They didn't specify size or weight. So I went to Home Depot and bought these 54-gallon tubs that you could literally fit. I could have fit the whole cast in them.
They were huge. They were like coffins.
And I was wearing the wings, and I was wearing this giant foam wig, and I just had carrying the fish.
She was set to go.
I'm like, hi, no, this is my traveling outfit. What are you talking about?
That's fucking awesome.
It's the way you got to get it in the door. Well, I mean, you were lucky because you were in Los Angeles. Poor Bianca had to what can I bring on a plane?
Poor nothing. I got $100,000. I'm good.
That's why she bought
You
all
could
of
have
those
had wigs.
dresses in different colors.
That's true. That's why I had the same dress in every color, right, Courtney? What is it? What kind of dress is it, you idiot? What was it called?
A boat neck.
A boat neck. In Australia, it's called a boat neck, which is a boat neck is not that. I'm going to do a chart now that all this is over. I'm going to do a chart defining the word silhouette, and we're going to discuss every neckline, every seam, and every cut, so that I can educate the masses because everyone thinks they know what they're talking about.
I like a boat neck.
I never wore a boat neck. A cowl neck is
never
what
saw
my
you-
favorite is.
Okay.
It's not
You
a
do
boat
love a
neck.
cowl.
And I wore princess seams, and I also wore circular bottoms. I also wore a one-way stretch. I've also worn a backless gown. I also wore sleeves. I also wore shorts.
You're just talking fag now.
No, it's not fat. You were talking hair 5 minutes ago. Please.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Whatever.
apparently, I was just relying on my body, and I
Yes.
Well, you
who
were.
hasn't relied on it? Hey,
hasn't.
it's true.
I was
Many people
relying
as
on it.
possible.
Well, you see now, Romaine's playing this little game with you. She's over here going, "I didn't like your wig. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me." Subliminal bullshit. She's
like a gay
fucking
guy now.
freak.
She's like a gay guy now. I hate you unless we're gonna have sex. And I'm totally into you.
Yeah.
She's a mean gay.
I am a mean one, aren't I?
Courtney,
really are.
Courtney, Romaine is a mean gay. That song is about her.
I'll have to write my lesbian version.
Yes.
Yes, I think you should.
I think it'd be good.
Well, Courtney, you're going to be here in New York next week at the Laurie Beachman Theater doing your show, Boys Like Me. And before that, you'll be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which you probably couldn't find on a map, at the Sidewinders Bar on May 24th. And May 25th, you'll be in Houston, Texas at F Bar, where Romaine and I, we were just there in March. You'll have a fabulous time.
It's a fun little bar.
And we appreciate you being with us, Courtney. Safe travels on the road.
I'm also, actually, I just want to tell you about one more thing. On Monday night in New York at the Out Hotel, Magnus Hastings, who's an amazing drag photographer, is launching his exhibition called Why Drag. And it's photos of Bianca, everybody, Bianca,
Really? Yeah.
Willem, Adore, Lady
Bunny.
Bunny,
Yeah.
drag queens from all around the world on Monday night
awesome.
at the Out Hotel.
He's an amazing photographer, and he did some amazing work for us, and took all these photos of us throughout. So it's in a big exhibit art show. Do check it out at the Out Hotel, which is formerly known as XL, BPN, IBS, whatever it's called this week. But it's the place to go check it out because it's some really brilliant, fabulous
Nice.
stuff, and he's an amazingly sweet, kind guy. I mean, Courtney's known him forever, and I just met him recently. He's a doll.
And I'll be there on Monday night as well, doing a bit of a performance and whatnot.
Yes. At the event, I fly in late, so I won't make it.
Yeah.
But I'm here. I fly in like at 12 o'clock. Wah, wah.
Wow.
All right. But Bianca will be in San Francisco at DNA Lounge on Sunday, May 25th, and on Saturday in Wilton Manors, Florida at the Manor. And here in New York, of course, tomorrow night at Therapy, and Friday night, Hot Mess
Yes.
at BPM.
Yes, and then following that, I'll be doing Berlin also, which is at Providence, which is where you recently came to see me. Yes,
I was. Yes. But before we run, because we were extremely short on time, I did want to ask you about a tuxedo that you made for Christopher Rice
I did.
15 years ago
Yes.
out of red sequins.
Yes, it was at a red. It was his mother used to do this thing called the Memnock Ball for Halloween, and Chris Rice and I became really good friends early on because we did theater together, and he was Pippin in a production of Pippin that I was doing costumes for, and his mother was having this ball, and he wanted a tuxedo, so I made him a red sequin. It was very Liza, the act type of ensemble, and he wore it with a good heart, and I've been friends with him ever since. It's kind of crazy.
But he wanted it entirely made of sequins.
Girl,
Not
it
like
was-
some sequins on the corner, like
Well,
100% sequins.
Let's be honest, she had some money, so they were red fish scale sequins, which means they were sequins that only go in one direction. Oh, is that too gay for you, Romaine?
Yeah, a little bit.
Fish scale sequins. It was a boat
And
neck.
this was 15 years ago as well.
It was 15 years ago. It was a boat neck sequin tuxedo, right, Courtney? You fucking bitch. You fucking troll. You're never going to be back in this country again. No, but it was a fish scale sequin, which is a sequin that only shines in one direction, and I made him a tuxedo, yes. And he said, oh, how do you know about that?
Because he posted about it today on Facebook.
Ah.
He's like, the only thing that matters about Bianca Del Rio is the red sequin tuxedo that she made for me 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was probably more than 15 years ago. It was crazy. He was a kid. He was such a child.
I know.
I think I'm a little older than he is. Not as old as you, Derek, but I'm a little older.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, baby.
It's okay. You can be the young one, Bianca. It's
Listen, you're not
okay.
going to be the only old bitter fag with a house in the country. I got money now.
I can't wait to welcome you to the neighborhood.
I can't hide.
Will you be my sugar daddy?
I'll be your sugar daddy, Courtney. I'll take care of you. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to use it.
Whatever.
I'll save it.
Bianca's a second away from having your work visa pulled. So
Well, she told me anytime someone on Twitter is like, please come to Australia, I'm like, Courtney Act says I can't. And people think I'm serious. People think I'm serious. I'm like, it's a joke.
I've spoken to the
awesome.
queen.
She's spoken to the queen. Exactly.
She said that Bianca's cool as long as she knocks her up a twin set.
There you go. I'll work it out.
God, the queen and her twin sets. Okay. Our thanks to Courtney Act for being with us and Bianca Del Rio. Congratulations to you both, but especially you, Bianca, because you won. Okay.
None taken.
Shady.
CourtneyAct.com and Courtney Act on Twitter. And Courtney's going to be all over the country and here in New York for Boys Like Me at the Laurie Beachman Theater. All of the information about all of Courtney's upcoming events are at CourtneyAct.com. And Bianca, theBiancaDelRio.com, theBiancaDelRio on Twitter. And Bianca is also going to be all over the country.
Spreading my hate.
For the foreseeable future. We look forward to seeing both of you living out of one extremely large suitcase.
With a lot of boat neck dresses.
For a long time.
Yes.
Coming up next, we will take your calls at 866-305-6887 or not. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want here on Derek and Romaine.